Hey, y'all. Let me get IG in here because I know for Facebook, y'all are usually a little bit more delayed than IG. So I started Facebook first, and now I'm in IG. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This lighting looks a little crazy. Hold up, y'all. Maybe I need to fix. Let's try that. I think that's a little bit better. That should be a little bit better. Hey, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Be here for a little bit of time. Giving you some good stuff, giving you the best that I got. Per usual. Let me just check on some stuff here. Cool beans. All right. I just saw my own notification come up, so which means that most people are just now getting that notification as well, which is totally fine. It'll be up here for you. Hey, welcome in. Hi, Nori. What's going on? How are you? Hey, Liz, what's going on? Yeah, the notification literally just went out, and I've been on here at least for 2 minutes. So I can start to tell where the delay is. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for tapping in. Definitely share this out. Excited to be with you. Hopefully everyone's morning is starting off beautifully. Happy Tuesday. Happy Transformational Tuesday. That's for me, that's what I like to call it, Transformational Tuesday. Don't ask me why. I like it. I feel like the transformation comes when I speak it, right? I tell the transformation to come and the transformation comes. And for most of you, you know that I am really big on the transformation, internal before external. And so happy Transformational Tuesday. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Christina Danielle. And what I do is I help women and entrepreneurs to operate profoundly in their confidence so they can prosper in their purpose. Shout out to Did You Pray official brand. That is my brand. For this Godpreneur shirt right here. So if you do want access to this Godpreneur shirt, text DYP, which is Did You Pray, DYP to 347-252-8419, 347-252-8419 if you want access to this shirt and the Did You Pray shirts. So once again, happy Transformational Tuesday. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Happy Transformational Tuesday. For those who are not aware, and just as a reminder for others, my next masterclass is happening on August the 7th. I am so excited. We are so excited. All right. For the next masterclass that is coming up on August the 7th, Pray and Prosper, the Prosperity Masterclass. Let me tell y'all, it is going to be phenomenal. And I'm not just saying that because it's my masterclass. I'm saying it because I know that it's going to be phenomenal. Okay. Any masterclass that I do, if you've ever been in a room of one of my masterclasses, if you were in a room for my 5D PC challenge, you know there's transformation in there, there's breakthrough in there, and there's absolutely change. And so I'm super excited about this Prosperity Masterclass. In this masterclass, you're going to gain a better understanding of what prosperity is. You're going to get a solid strategy of how to obtain and maintain it. And you're going to get a mindset shift from overwhelm to overflow, because too many people are just dealing with the overwhelm. And it could be overwhelmed with life. It could be overwhelmed with business. It could be overwhelmed with your relationships. And so we're going to make sure that you go from overwhelm to overflow. As long as you are participating in the masterclass, I can guarantee you don't come out that masterclass the same. No one that has ever taken my masterclasses comes out the same, as long as they were participating in the masterclass and doing what they were taught in the masterclass. So that is happening on August the 7th. If you want to get access to that masterclass, text the word prosper to 347-252-8419. Once again, text the word prosper to 347-252-8419. Early bird pricing is ending this Friday, y'all. Okay, so if you want to get in at the early bird pricing, now is the time to do so, because after Friday, the price will go up. All right, just letting you know. So now that we have that out the way, you know all about the masterclass. Let's talk about one of the things, one of the reasons why you would join this masterclass. Because some of you may be looking and saying, well, I feel like I'm prosperous in my life, Christina, and I don't feel like I need to join the masterclass. I don't feel like there's nothing there for me. And so I wanted to talk about something that most people are just not paying attention to, or they're just not aware of it, right? And that is the 3 reasons. I should have put my title in the thing, but Instagram, I'm thank you for joining in, because I forgot to put the title there, but Facebook, y'all got it. The 3 things that prosperity is not, right? And so let's just start with this, right? If you are seeing the advertisements, the postings on this masterclass, you know that we're prospering beyond the paper, right? Prosperity is more than money, right? A lot of times what we do is we focus on the money. We feel like if we don't have the money, that we're not prosperous in life, right? Prosperity, money is a part of prosperity, but prosperity goes beyond just the money, right? And you can't even get to the money if your mind is not right. You can't get to the money if your heart is not right. And so we're working on all the internal things before we get to the external, right? Because even if you get the money now, how are you going to maintain it if your heart is not right? How are you going to maintain it if your mind is not right? And so we're going to talk about the 3 things that prosperity is not. So hopefully you got your pen and papers. You can take some notes on this. Definitely share this out to your friends in them, your aunties in them. And let's talk about what prosperity is not. The 3 things, what it's not. Number 1, the first thing that prosperity is not, it is not babysitting, y'all. Hey, sis. Prosperity is not babysitting, right? I literally just put up a post on IG, Facebook. I'll share it with you momentarily. But I just put up a post on Facebook, on IG, excuse me, that literally says, some people want to hold hands. Others want their hands held, and you have to know the difference, right? And a lot of times what happens is we get frustrated because we don't know the difference between the 2, especially if you have a really good heart to serve, a heart to help, a heart to see people win. You get so engulfed in being the savior, and I want to help this person. I want to help everybody, right? Understand something. You are not called to help everybody, right? I know that you want to. I know that you feel like you can. But that is where burnout comes in. That is where frustration comes in. That is where anxiety comes in, because you're like, did I do this right? Did I do this right? Is this right? You're doing all these things and you're giving yourself so much stress, so much anxiety, so much depression, so much confusion, because you're out here trying to play savior to everybody. You are not meant to babysit the people. Now, understand something, right? When I say prosperity is not babysitting, it does not mean, because for some of you, you are called to hold someone's hand, and that's totally fine, right? But for some of you, you are not called to do that, and you're babysitting people, right? Remember, the first word in babysitting is baby. You're babying grown folk. Stop babying grown folk. The second word in babysitting is sitting. That means that you are sitting down with them, right? Which means when you should be doing movement, when you should be going forward, when they should be going forward, when you should be going forward together, you can't, because you're so busy sitting down and having meaningless conversations with people who are not ready to move or do anything. They just want their feelings pacified. They just want their faults pacified. And you're sitting there babysitting them and wondering why you are not prospering. We have to stop babysitting people, right? Now, I love everybody, and I say it all the time. I have absolutely no problem telling people I love you, right? And that's a whole different topic we'll talk about another day, because some of y'all don't even know how to say the words I love you. Some of you don't know how to receive the words I love you. And it's not your fault. It is the trauma that we've dealt with, and I know it for a fact because I've dealt with it myself. But that's not what this is about today, right? I love everybody, right? And I would love to help everybody. And at one point, I was doing my best to help everybody. And what happened is I started to deal with burnout and frustration, not understanding the difference between the people who wanted their hands held and the people who wanted to hold hands. I am not called for the people who want their hands held. Maybe at one point in my life I was, right? But right now, and where I am now and where I'm going, I am not called to hold people's hands. I am called to hold hands with the people who want to move forward. I am called to hold hands with the people who want to take a step forward. I am called for those type of people. And the thing is, you got to know the difference between the two so that you will serve your purpose and not the purpose of somebody else. And that is where a lot of people get frustrated, is trying to save the world. You are not the savior, sir, ma'am. Take off the superhero cape. That's God's job. Let God use you in the way that he wants to use you to bless the people. Let God use you in the way that he wants to use you to help the people, but not to burn yourself out. God's intentions was never for you to burn out. God's intentions is never for you to be frustrated. God's intentions is never for you to feel depressed. That is never and will never be his intentions. So if you're feeling these emotions, if you're feeling these things, you're probably operating out of your purpose, which means you are holding hands with a person who doesn't want to hold hands back. And a lot of times you don't want to hear that, right? Because the people that we're holding the hands for are the people who are normally 90% of the time, people who are near and dear to us. And it hurts like heck to let go of that hand because we want to see them win. We want to see them grow. We want to see them be successful. And that's good. You should want to see those things. But you need to understand that where your purpose lies. You need to understand what you are called to do so you're not frustrated, so you're not burnt out, because what you're doing is holding yourself back from where you need to go, right? I'm not holding myself back. This is what I'm doing. I will help you along the way. We can do this together. You don't have to be at the same level as me, but your feet better be moving, right? You don't have to know everything I know. Just like I'm going to learn from you, you're going to learn from me. But your feet have to be moving. You have to be going forward, in tears, forward, in pain, forward. You got to be moving forward. But if you are standing still, if you want to be the baby, you want me to pacify everything that you do and your faults, and you want to pacify your fears, and you want me to say, it's going to be okay. If you want me to do that, I'm not the person for you. And there are people out there that are called to do that. So again, I'm not saying that, you may be the person that's called to do that. That's fine. But you got to know what you're called to do, right? And that is one of the reasons why that's one of the things where prosperity doesn't lie. It doesn't lie in the confusion of not knowing what you're called to do. So understand, sit down between you and God. God, what am I called to do? Am I called to hold hands, or am I called to hold someone's hand? You need to know the difference. All right. The second thing that prosperity is not, and this is going to be a shock for some of you. The second thing that prosperity is not, it is not following in your parents' footsteps. Let me just be real clear, right? It is not following in your parents' footsteps. It is not following in your grandparents' footsteps. That is not prosperity. And here's why. You could have your parent who did all the things right. You could have, and most of us don't, because here's why I can tell you most of us don't, because most of our parents, there's some of our parents that did, most of our parents didn't have the tools and the resources that we have today, didn't have the access that we have today to know the things that we know today. So those excuses about, I don't know how to figure this out, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to learn this, all of that is a bunch of excuses, because you got YouTube University, you got Google, you got coaches like me, you got people out there that are giving you resources, that are giving you things to help you. So don't come with the excuses about you don't know how to do it. But this is why I say one of the things that where prosperity doesn't lie is in following your parents' footsteps. Because if you are following in your parents' footsteps, if you're doing exactly what they did, that means you're using the tools that they use outdated. That means that you're using the systems that they use outdated. That means that you're using, the strategies that they use outdated. All of that is outdated. This is 2021, baby. Everything has changed. And so you can't be following your parents' footsteps. Our grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents, what they did with their money, they put it under the mattress because they felt it was secure there, because they didn't trust the banks. Let's be clear. If you're still putting money under your mattress, that's a problem. You ain't learned how to invest yet. I am not the money guru. I'm going to tell you, by no means am I the money guru. But baby, I'm learning how to invest, because I understand that investing my money duplicates my money. Putting it under my mattress just means that I got money. But my money is not working for me under my mattress. So you can't do what your parents used to do. You can't do what your great-great-grandparents used to do. So prosperity does not lie in following in your parents' footsteps. And so if you have come into agreement with saying that for yourself and saying, I'm just following them, I know I did it and I had to renounce it. I'm not following my mother's footsteps, right? I want to make her proud, but I'm not following her footsteps. And another reason why I'm not following her footsteps, because here's the thing. She didn't know everything. She didn't make all the right decisions, just like I won't make all the right decisions for my kids. Right? I don't want my kids to follow in my footsteps. I want them to be better than me. And for some of y'all, let's be real clear. For some of y'all don't want y'all kids to be better than y'all. You don't. Right? You want to be the expert. You want to be the know-it-all. You want to be the right one. And every time your kid is trying to tell you something, every time your kid is trying to show you something, you're like, nah, that ain't the way we used to do it. This is how we used to do it. That's how you used to do it in 1909. This is 2021. You got to open up your ears and open up your eyes and open up your heart to receive what they're showing you, because they might be showing you a better way to do things, because these kids know technology, baby. And they learning real quick, and more than just technology. All right. So prosperity does not lie in following your parents' footsteps. There's a lot of mistakes that my mother made, and not just in money mistakes, but there's also mistakes that my mother made in relational mistakes that I unfortunately had to make as well, because I was following my mother's footsteps until I realized that ain't the path for me. And nobody wants to hear that because we look up to our parents. If you love your parents, you respect your parents as you should, right? We look up to our parents, so we don't want to hear that you shouldn't be following your parents' footsteps. But I'm going to be the one to tell you shouldn't be following your parents' footsteps. Create your own footsteps, right? Make them proud with your own footprints, your own footsteps, right? All right. So, and number three, the number three reason, and there's more reasons, but these are the top 3 reasons that we're going to talk about on today. The third thing that prosperity does not lie in, prosperity does not lie in gossip and hate. For somebody, they were like, did she just come for me? Yes, I did. Absolutely. Okay. You can have all the money in the world, but if you are gossiping and you're hating on people, your money will not last. Your prosperity will not last. Your happiness is temporary until you learn how to celebrate people, until you learn how to stop talking about people. Because a lot of y'all just be out here just gossiping away. And I know we all want to know the tea. Look, I got friends in them, right? But I don't want the tea that's going to burn my prosperity. I don't want that type of tea, right? And so prosperity does not lie. And I know this right here is where you will start to lose people because people don't want to hear this part, right? You coming for me? Yes, I am. Absolutely. And I'm coming for you because I want you to hear me loud and clear so that you can be prosperous in life. Whether you sign up for my masterclass or not, that's on you, right? I have done the work to provide the space, the platform to bless the people. I've done my job and I'm going to show up on August 7th. Please believe for every single student that is in that masterclass, right? So I've done my job, period. Gossip and hate. Stop gossiping about people. Stop talking about people, right? If you feel like somebody's doing something wrong or not in alignment with your purpose, you can separate yourself from them. That's fine. But just pray for them. Like, you know what? I pray that you'll be a better person. If somebody see me do something wrong, please just pray for me. That's it. Because again, let's go back to the top, right? We are not the savior. You can't change nobody. You don't have the capability to change a person. Only God can do that. But God uses us as a vessel, right, to speak to people. God uses us as a vessel for confirmation for what he's already told people. All right. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. That's what God does. And so again, the gossiping is not a part of prosperity. So if you're gossiping, your prosperity is short-lived, right? If you're hating on people, oh, why she got this or why she got that? Why every time I turn around, she blessed? Why every time I turn around, she's smiling? Why is she in such a happy relationship? Because this is what y'all do. Y'all claim that y'all somebody's friend, right? But then y'all see them post pictures. You be like, why y'all always skinning up your face? And then you're wondering why things are happening in your life. You're wondering why you can't get past a certain point in your business. You're wondering why your money won't flip. You're wondering why. It's because what you're doing in the dark, God already saw it. And he won't allow you to prosper beyond where you are gossiping and hating on people. So they may not know that you're doing it, right? They may not know that you're being fake and phony, but God does. And I know y'all don't want to hear that, right? That's the scary part. Like, ooh, yeah, somebody got to tell y'all. Somebody got to be the one to tell you. And I promise God that I will be bold when I spoke. And so, again, the 3 things that prosperity is not babysitting people. Okay? We are no longer babysitting people. You can help people without babysitting them, right? And really quickly, because I'm going to end this live in a few minutes, but also too, when it comes down to babysitting, and I think I said this in the beginning, but for some of you are just joining in, when it comes down to babysitting, understand that proximity does not equal your availability. I've said it before and I will say it again. Proximity does not equal your availability. You could have known a person for 20, 25, 30, 40 years, right? But once you start to grow and elevate and level up and they choose not to, that is okay to separate. You have permission and all rights to separate and not disrespectfully. You don't got to be like, oh, you ain't moving, I'm out. Like, you don't got, I mean, some of y'all, I know y'all a little harsh like that, and that's fine. But you don't have to do that. You can lovingly be like, you know what? I'm just going to move forward. If you can't even find the words to say, you ain't even got to explain yourself. You can just move forward, right? Because they're either going to see that you're moving forward and you're growing and they're going to want to grow with you, or they're going to see that you're moving forward and growing and they're going to be like, well, who does this person think they is? And then they become that third person that's gossiping and hating. You see how this all works together? This is how it all works together. All right. So number one, babysitting. We are no longer babysitting people, right? We will only attach ourselves to people who want to grow with us and go with us. All right. Number two, prosperity is not following in your parents' footsteps. What they did is not what you should be doing, right? Times have changed. Our world has drastically changed, and we have so many tools and resources to be successful. We have so many tools and resources to be prosperous. We have so many tools and resources to level up. There is no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse whatsoever. None. Because I promise you that whatever you're going through, somebody's already gone through it. And I promise you there's a book, there's a course, there's something out there that can give you the insight that you need so that you can speed up the process. And when I say speed up the process, you still have to respect the process, but you don't have to go through exactly the same things that they went through, the same mistakes that they went through in that situation. All right. And then the third thing that prosperity is not, it is not gossip and hate. That's not prosperity, y'all. That's not prosperity. There is no prosperity in gossiping over people, gossiping about people. There's no prosperity in hating on people. Like, thank you, Nadira. And if you're on Facebook, my good sis Nadira has the notes up there. She put them up there. So thank you. I appreciate you. But those are the three things that prosperity is not. It is not babysitting. It is not following in your parents' footsteps. I know a lot of y'all, you love your parents. I love my mom. I love my mom. I love her. God rest her soul as she rests in heaven. But there are things that my mother did that I cannot do. I am not called to do because I have to be better. Don't have to be perfect, but I got to be better, right? Because as most of you know, if you heard me say this quote before, this is my quote. So if anybody ever posts this quote, they got it from me, right? I must be the woman that my daughter would model, and I must be the woman that my son would marry. That is a staple in my life every single day. And so when I'm making decisions, right, when I carry myself around, that is what I exemplify in my mind to make sure that I'm following that every single day. All right. So definitely share this out. Get registered for the masterclass on August 7th. We're talking about the Prosperity Masterclass. Prosperity is beyond the paper. It's beyond the paper. It's the mindset. It's the heart. It's beyond the paper. It's how you live your life. It's your lifestyle. It's beyond the paper. So 347-252-8419, text the word prosper to get access to the masterclass, and make sure you share out this live. This live will stay up because people need to hear this. People need to hear those 3 reasons where prosperity doesn't lie. It's not there, right? It's never going to be in gossip. It's never going to be in hate. It's never going to be in following your parents' footsteps. It's never going to be in babysitting. It's never going to be there. And somebody needed to tell y'all that. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So thank you everyone for tapping in. Yes, I will repeat the number. Thank you, Shanisha. 347-252-8419. 347-252-8419. Text the word prosper to register for the masterclass, right? If you want to stay connected to me, I talk to people through my text message community, right? Some of you are on here, so you know that I was going live because I texted out to you, as well as I texted out some words of encouragement yesterday. So if you want to get daily encouragement, if you want to stay connected with me, you can also text me at 347-252-8419 and stay connected to my community. Hey, Jay, who's part of my text community, also part of my 5DPC family. What up, girl? All right. You know, we stay loving on each other. So definitely if you want to stay connected with me, 347-252-8419 to stay connected with me, period. If you want to register for the masterclass, to that same number, text the word prosper. Okay. Once again, share this out. Don't be selfish. Let me see who's sharing this out. It's enough of y'all on here. Let me see y'all in the comments. If you are sharing this out, let me see the word share. Type the word share for those that are sharing this out. Okay. Because we are not selfish in this community. We are not selfish with our gift. Those who are selfish, don't. My good friend Justin, he always says this, right? Those who are afraid to give out information don't know enough. And I'll never be afraid to give out information. I'll never be afraid to share. I'll never be afraid to give y'all purpose, right? Because I know what it's like to be in a space where I needed more. And I had to create the space. And so I would love for y'all to stay connected with me. Definitely get registered for the masterclass. The seats are limited and early bird pricing ends in 3 days. After Friday, please do not text me asking, can I get it at the early bird pricing? Because I'm going to say no. That's it. All right. It's just as simple as that. I love y'all enough to teach you how you should treat yourself. Right? I love you enough to teach you how you should treat yourself. And so if you put something out there and you say, this is the price and the pricing changes after this, somebody comes to you, you should be able to stand on your own 2 feet and say, no, love you, but no. Right? Teach people how to treat you. Teach people how to have respect for your business. And there's nothing wrong with that. That goes back to the babysitting. We're not babysitting people anymore. The responsibility says early bird pricing ends on Friday. You're responsible enough to handle that because they're responsible enough to do everything else. All right. So if you missed it, if you just tapped in, thank you for those who are typing the word shared. I appreciate you. If you're just tapping in, you can go back and watch the replay. It will go up. I love y'all. Have a prosperous day, and I will see y'all in the masterclass. All right. Have a great Tuesday.